Today on Fresno State Focus, we'll tell you about new technology that makes it easier for students with disabilities to read or listen to course material.
Also, if you have the right stuff, the California Highway Patrol may have a job for you.
Plus, we'll share some important Halloween safety tips. Fresno State Focus starts now.
Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Martin Vargas.
And I'm Angela Sasaki. Reading assignments are hard enough for many students, but imagine having to read complicated material when you have difficulty seeing or comprehending. Reporter Raya tells us about technology on campus that puts everyone on an equal playing field.
The Services for Students with Disabilities program at Fresno State endeavors to ensure a fair learning environment.
Imagine not being able to read and needing to complete reading assignments for school. This can be due to vision impairment or a learning disability. In either case, you can have somebody read to you by reading it the best you can yourself or not read it at all. There's actually another solution. Fresno State Services for Students with Disabilities has some great technology that can help. In this case, the CCTV enlarges text and makes it easier to read. There's also the Read and Write Gold software from the Services for Students with Disabilities website that reads the text out loud. Assistive Technology Coordinator Marvin Williams says asking for help is the first step.
It's not guaranteeing that anybody's going to suddenly become an A student, but if we can help the person figure out what's going on and help them overcome those barriers, then it's almost like a clean slate. I have the same chance as everybody else to succeed or fail here.
Fresno State student Sofia Delgado, who has an auditory learning disability, says she wouldn't be where she is today if it wasn't for the program.
I'm always in here, so I like doing my homework in here since it's more quiet, and if I need help, like I can ask them like for help, regarding the equipment or just help like in general.
The Assistive Technology Lab, which includes the optical character recognition technology, or OCR, scans books so they are in the format students may need them. They also have a microscope attached to a camera that shows the magnified image on the computer screen. They have different mouse options and the UB Duo, which can be seen around campus as a way of face-to-face communication with the help of written text. Reading Services Alternative Media Coordinator Rima Maldonado plays a prominent role in helping students.
With my title, I help students get their instructional materials for class. So that includes handouts, documentations that professors may put onto Blackboard, and textbooks. So what that means is students that may use this accommodation that I serve, which would be digital text. So they would need like software to read the textbooks or the instructional materials.
Maldonado says that if teachers plan on providing documents to make sure they are in a way that everybody has access to them. If not, this is where she is able to do her part and help students get the documents they need. While you may not need the services now, you may in the future, or somebody else may need them, and you can be the one to help them find what they need. Raya, Fresno State Focus.
Fresno State has worked consistently on new development programs over the past few months, and finally their hard work has paid off. The university recently earned a national honor recognition for its teacher training and employee development programs. The university collaborates with partner schools and also works on improving education pertaining to science, technology, engineering, and math in regional public school districts. Fresno State's mission towards innovation and excellence allows for more award programs to show the recognition of its work.
If you're interested in a career in law enforcement, the California Highway Patrol is interested in you. Sergeant Louis Lara is the recruitment supervisor of CHP's Central Division, and he is here to talk about the recruiting process. Hello, Sergeant Lara, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here.
Of course. So can you tell us a little bit about the recruiting process and how it works?
It's about a 6-month hiring process. We start with the application process, and we're taking applications next week, November 3rd through the 6th. on chpcareers.com. You apply, we test you in January, we have a physical. It's a 1.5-mile run, push-ups, sit-ups, and a 300-meter run. The next day you do a written test, and then after that you go on backgrounds, and it's just pretty much going into your whole life history from the time you're 18 to whatever the present time.
Okay, and so if someone does get accepted or makes it through all these processes, what can they expect as a new officer?
We initially sent them as a position as cadet, which is a 27-week academy, which is in West Sacramento. Pretty much they learn everything about law enforcement there, and then after those 27 weeks they graduate and then get stationed in either, right now, Bay Area or LA, if we have openings in Central Valley, but most of them are in LA.
Okay, so do you just station people based on where there's availability, or
Yes.
how does that work?
Yes, the officers who are already promoted into officers get to transfer first, and a lot of them like to come back home to the Central Valley. After that, the cadets who promote to officers then take the vacancies of the officers that are coming home, and then take the vacancies in LA or Bay Area. But they're younger, so they enjoy doing the busy work.
Okay, and so I'm under the impression that college students or people with college degrees get a certain pay incentive. Can you explain this a little bit?
About 50% of our applicants right now have some type of college. About 20% have at least a AA degree, and a lot of them, those 20% also have BAs. There is an incentive after you promote to officer. You do get a 2.5% for an AA, which is about $120, and for a BA, it is about $250, which is about $3,000 more a year on top of your salary, which is about $75,000 a year.
Okay, and so if a student, say a Fresno State student, still has about a year or two left of school, would you advise them to apply now still, or wait till they graduate?
Absolutely. I always get on their apply next week, then in January you test, and by the time you get out, you can waive, you get on an eligibility list, and then you tell us when you're ready to start your background. By the time you graduate, we get you into the academy, and then you have a job, you're employed, right? Every college student is looking for a job after they get their 4-year degree.
Okay, so it basically helps you save a long time, like just kind of skip a step. You get to go ahead and skip the 6 months, because while you're still in school, you go through the whole process, and then as soon as you graduate, kind of.
We do your background, we go to your house, we go to your employers, your school, we check what kind of person you were, what kind of work experience you've had, and that's where we want quality person.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Sergeant Lara. All right, we've been talking with Sergeant Lara from CHP Central Division.
Halloween is just around the corner, and children all over the valley are ready to dress up in their favorite costumes and go door to door to get a bag full of candy. However, for parents, there are some things to keep in mind. Fresno State Police Officer Tate Boss Manuchirian says keeping child safe is most important this year.
The traffic, walking around in the streets, especially in dark, wearing the little costumes, being dark colored in a dark area. Make sure the kids are well lighted and walking on sidewalks, crossing the streets. That would be the first priority. And don't leave the children unattended. Always an adult be with the kids.
Keeping an eye on your kids and knowing where they are at all times is key for a safe Halloween.
Many people believe Wolf Manor in Clovis is haunted. The building has attracted ghost hunters and paranormal TV shows to the valley, and it's been a favorite attraction for Halloween thrill seekers. The nearly 100-year-old home was once a sanitarium and later a hospital before current owner Todd Wolf bought it. The manor is up for sale again because Wolf can't afford the $1 million in repairs needed to meet safety regulations. Assistant City Manager John Holt says Clovis has designated the house unsafe to occupy.
He is going to take on the burden of demolishing the building, and then we would lien the property to get the cost back when the property sells.
If Clovis plans on demolishing Wolf Manor in the next few months.
Coming up on Fresno State Focus, Generation Green and the role it plays for students.
Also, find out how Measure Z has helped Fresno's Chaffee Zoo prosper and what happens if the funding runs out.
Plus, a new club on campus that has adrenaline rush written all over it. All that when we come back.
So you decided to go to Fresno State. Good for you. But you were too insecure to show Fresno State pride? That's a problem. Because you never bothered to show pride in your school, you are shunned by other students. Professors can smell the stench of impending failure on you and take no pity. Even the mass communication students agree you have no future. But all of this could have been avoided if you simply showed your pride for Fresno State.
I am Fresno State.
Fresno State pride. Show it or face the consequences.
Fresno Chaffee Zoo first opened its doors to the public in 1929. It has grown to be a major attraction in the Central Valley. With the help of Measure C, the zoo has been able to improve its facilities and keep the animal habitats in good conditions. But Measure C is running out. Measure C, or Save Our Zoo measure, was designed to help the zoo by providing funds to repair and restore the zoo. It was approved in 2004 and $110 million have been obtained. Out of those $110 million, $66 million have been used to improve some of the oldest facilities. Some of the renovations made include animal habitats such as the reptile house, tropical treasures, the Malayan tiger exhibit, bird of prey, the new king cobra, and Komodo dragon exhibit. Leanne Meyer, curator of the zoo, says before Measure Z, the zoo had to make fundraisers to come up with money to support the zoo or make new exhibits.
It's about 12 years to raise funding for a $1.5 million exhibit, and that was the orang exhibit back in 2000.
Now, they don't have to worry about fundraisers because Measure Z provides the funding to make exhibits possible. One of the most significant exhibits made with Measure Z has been the Sea Lion Cove. It was completed in 2012 and has increased the zoo attendance. On November 4, Fresno County voters will decide if they want to keep funding the Fresno Chaffee Zoo through Measure Z. If voters vote yes, they are going to be funding the African Adventure Project. This is an exhibit that has been started but not completed. This exhibit will have African elephants, giraffes, and zebras. Before Measure Z, the zoo was losing its accreditation. That is why Dennis Woods got involved promoting Measure Z since 2004 up to now.
They weren't meeting the qualifications to be a certified licensed zoo.
People like Richard Jantes have not made up their mind, but he is leaning more towards no.
I know they have something like $350 million in a savings account, and I don't know how much more they need.
Measure Z is not only helping the zoo economically, but it is also making the zoo entrance affordable for families. The Fresno Bee recently reported that the zoo has received about $100 million over the past 10 years from Measure C, not $350 million. Zoo supporters say there are a lot of misinformation being spread by Measure C opponents. They say if the funding goes away, admissions prices to the zoo would go up and the development of the new exhibits would come to an end. Voters go to the polls November 4 to decide whether to renew Measure C.
Fresno State is mostly known for its agricultural department and football team. Now there is a club that is looking to change all of that. John Dix shows us that even though this club has only been around for a year, it is quickly gaining speed.
Start emailing you because, again, part of the college experience is being able to take concepts that you have learned and apply them in the real world. These students are doing just that. From design to construction, they are doing it all. Last year, Bulldog Racing competed in a Baja race with the Society of Automotive Engineers at the University of Texas in El Paso. Bulldog Racing took 35th place out of over 100 schools from around the world. Many schools didn't even cross the finish line. Not bad for a group of students that never participated in a Baja race before.
The camaraderie between the teams there was just intense. I was really just thrown by that because, you know, everybody's competing, but then it's such a difficult experience that everybody kind of gets along and tries to help each other anyway because it is so challenging.
Challenging not just for the designers, but for the drivers as well.
There were so many rocks, it was so rough. I mean, when I got done racing, I had a bruise about that big on my back from just rubbing against the seat. My knees had been slamming against the steering wheel on the side, and it was a painful, brutal experience.
An experience that he hopes to have again next year. Now they are working on designing a formula car for next year's race. They have until next June to finish. That is when they will travel to Lincoln, Nebraska to compete in the formula racing event, where they hope to do better. Though most of the members of Bulldog Racing are engineer students, all majors are welcome.
Even if you're not a mechanical engineering major, it's definitely a good thing to get into. It's a lot of fun. You learn a lot. If you are mechanical engineering, you get kind of ahead in your classes. It kind of helps you learn at a bit quicker pace. Going to class afterwards kind of makes it easier.
They need all kinds of members, so don't join just to be the driver.
Not just anyone can drive this. First, you have to go to the Fresno State website, you have to take a 2-hour-long defensive driving course, print out this certificate, sign it, and then you're ready to go, which is something I wish I knew yesterday before I decided to do this. Now, I only get to pretend. John Dix, Fresno State Focus.
Generation Green is a kindergarten through 12th grade program sponsored by the Central California Consortium. It provides environmental education and leadership opportunities and career training. It also encourages youth for higher education. Juana Rosas is the coordinator of Generation Green. She is here to talk about how the program helps students. Thank you for coming, Juana.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, how was Generation Green started?
Well, it's in a process for the Forest Service. I represent also the Forest Service. And what we did is we needed something for young people to do in the little rural towns of Orange Grove and Wheatley. And we decided that the Generation Green Club would always provide something to do, not only environmental education, but volunteering and career opportunities.
So, how do you guys encourage students for higher education?
What we try to do is we try to expose the students to careers within natural resources, and we try to help them out filling out applications for jobs. We also try to help them out with applications for universities, college, scholarships, and different ways. We also try to review their personal statements, their resumes, so they can be ready when the school's ready for them too.
What kind of community service do students perform in Generation Green?
We have various projects, but the one that is really popular right now with the students is the Abuelitos Project, which is the grandparent project. And it was started by a young kid, and he believed that he wanted to help a senior citizen, help out, garden their yard, because they couldn't do it anymore. So we started with 5 students, and now we have about 60 that show up every 2 Saturdays of the month with the rakes, and we help them out.
So I understand you guys take some students to Camp Smokey at the Sacramento State Fair. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, the Sacramento State Fair Leadership Camp is mainly to develop them as public speakers and also to show them natural resources careers. So what we do, we provide the students an application. They have to fill it out, turn in the resume, transcripts, and a letter of recommendations, and we also interview them. Once they go through the process, we take them to Sacramento for 10 days to teach little kids about fire safety and also do different activities and workshops for public speaking, and they get a $750 scholarship for their books or whatever they need for school.
How can students join Generation Green?
Generation Green is currently offered in Wheatley and Orange Grove, and we meet on Wheatley on Wednesday, and in Generation Green in Wheatley High School we meet on Wednesday, and Orange Grove High School we meet on Thursdays and at lunchtime, and we try to announce it and so that anybody's welcome.
Okay. Thank you for coming. We've been talking to Juana Rosas, coordinator of Generation Green.
Coming up in sports, basketball tryouts are underway. Plus, find out about all-American sports that international student athletes excel in. Stay tuned for sports with Dayna Lipkin when we come back.
I am Fresno State, and I'm going to show you why. Here's the beautiful and newly constructed Henry Madden Library, which has a massive collection. The Save Mart Center, which is our sports venue and one of the best attended in the entire country. We're absolute pioneers in the agricultural sciences, having led to the production of the first university winery and drawing in a diversity of students to achieve academic success over the past 100 years. And you know, I wish I had time to tell you about everything else, but in reality, I think you're just going to have to come see for yourself.
Stockers up there with first and third. And the bouncing ball is...
I am and always will be.
I was laughing at you.
Let's go to Dayna Lipkin now for our sports report. Hi, Dayna.
Thanks, Angela. Tonight is the night. I'm talking about Game 7 of the Major League Baseball World Series, including the San Francisco Giants and the Kansas City Royals. The Giants have a total of 7 World Series championships, with their most recent one being earned in 2012. That's a lot compared to their opponent, the Royals, who have one World Series title from 1985. Both teams are toughing it out for the championship ring tonight in the last game of the series in Kansas City, this evening at 5 on Fox. We all know here in the United States, sports is a big deal. We all see professional athletes getting praise and glory and also money. What we don't realize is that many of these athletes did not grow up in America. Kylie Shea Aldridge takes us into the life of an international student athlete.
Australia, number 9, Jamie.
There are a number of Fresno State athletes that are very far from home. Coaches here have recruited players from Australia, India, Canada, Denmark, and a few others. Jamie Lee Morrow, a senior from Morrowbark, Australia, is one of those athletes here at Fresno State that is far from home.
I wanted to come to school in California, mostly because of the weather, and the volleyball's usually better in California. And Fresno State, it just happened to all work out.
There are many different reasons why foreign athletes decide to continue their career, collegiate or otherwise, here in the States. Melanie Baran is a redshirt sophomore from Sanford, Manitoba. She is a cross-country runner. Baran gives us her reasons why she decided to come to the States.
They also don't offer scholarships for athletics where I'm from, so that was probably the biggest reason why. And also, the academics are a lot better here at the college level than they are in Canada.
Many people travel to other countries in order to experience different cultures. So when student athletes come to the United States to play, that is one of the biggest things they have to get used to, the culture of Fresno, California.
Being a student athlete, I think a lot of things change. The workouts, we're not a normal student, so I think it's a major change.
Moving away to college is a big change in someone's life. Moving away to another country in order to go to college and play a sport, now that is an even bigger change. Yet our country provides these student athletes with better competition while getting a great education. In the end, these student athletes did not regret their decision one bit. Kylie Shea Aldridge, Fresno State Focus.
The Fresno State women's basketball team recently returned from Australia. The team played 4 games down under last month in an exhibition tour. Here with us to talk about the tour and the upcoming season is forward player Alex Sheedy. Hello, Alex. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, not a problem.
So you got the chance to play with your team in your home country. How was that?
It was an amazing experience. I was so glad that I got to share that with my team. Because I get to see so much of America and so much of where they're from. It was nice to be able to go show them where I'm from. So it was great.
Did they get to go to your house and stuff like that? Were your parents excited?
Yeah, my mom put on a big buffet lunch, and we just all hung out in the backyard. I mean, it was kind of cold, but we were teaching my team and my coaches and stuff how to play Australian football, and so that was kind of fun. It was very different for them. It was kind of hilarious.
A good experience for them, probably.
Yeah.
So explain the reason for an exhibition tour. Why was this important for the team?
Well, I think that it was more when they first started organizing it to give back to the Australians. We've had, I think, 10 or 11 Australians on the team now, and we've had such an amazing experience being here, and I think it was something nice to do for the people who have come over and given up so much of their lives for Fresno State and loved it here. And I think that it was really great because we got to play early in the season. It was something that not a lot of teams get to do because obviously international travel is very expensive, and our boosters were fantastic. They funded the trip for us, so we really had a great time being able to bond because we've had new coaching staff, new players come in, and it was just a great experience for everyone.
Awesome. So did this help you learn things that you each need to work on for when the game starts and when the season actually starts?
Yeah, we got 10 days of practice before we went away. So we only kind of got a really fast-paced what kind of offense we're running, what defense we're doing, and while we were there, we got to see the things that we need to work on, the things that we do well, the things that people individually do well. So it was one of those things that was a great learning experience for everyone.
Great. So it's Jamie White's first year coaching. How is it having a new coach for your last year playing this year?
Well, it's fine. I've had this is my third coach in 4 years, so I'm pretty used to coaching staff changes by now, but she's actually really great. Our coaching staff this year is fantastic. I think they're maybe the best for the group that we've had so far, so I think she's been doing a fantastic job, and our team loves her, so it's great.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you'd like to add for the season, or?
Just come to our games.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us today, Alex. This season opener begins November 9th at the Save Mart Center against Notre Dame Dayna Moore at 2 p.m. Fresno State's men's basketball team announced an open tryout, and a video from the red and white hoops last week went viral after a half-court shooting contest. Marina Minas has the story.
Fresno State's men's basketball team announced that they were holding open tryouts for any full-time student. When the day came for the tryouts, the coach actually decided to push that tryout back. Head coach Rodney Terry tells us what he was looking for.
We did that because we wanted to see if there was someone in the student body that could come out and help our team this year, be a part of what we're doing. We had success with that once before, and we just thought it'd be a good idea to do.
Junior basketball player Marvell Harris is really looking forward to this season coming up, and he says he loves his team, but there's always room to become better.
We feel if anybody can help us become a better team, I mean, you're never complete, you always can get better, so if they're going to compete and help us be a better team, whether it's in practice, in the games, then we're all for it.
Last week, Fresno State's women's and men's basketball teams held their red and white hoops night event. During the event, there was several contests to compete in. This included the three-pointer contest, half-court shooting, and a dunk contest. The teams also played scrimmages against each other. Junior basketball player Cesar Guerrero won the half-court shooting contest by making 5 consecutive half-court shots.
Threw them up, and I hit 5 in a row, so hopefully it comes out in Sports Center top 10.
Cesar did end up making ESPN's top 10 that night. Here's the video. Take a look.
That's it. He's pushing his luck. Caesar's on a roll, too. The red has 2. Caesar again has 3 on his own. 2 over here. How many over here? 3. It's 3-2. Come on, Paul, get another one in. Do it for the medium, Paul. Caesar Guerrero, ladies and gentlemen. 5, 4, 3, 2.
That video went viral that night, reaching over 500,000 views. Marina Minas, Fresno State Focus.
Were you guys able to see that half-court shot?
No,
I
I
didn't.
wasn't, though it looked like it was pretty exciting, though. I wish I would have.
It was. You should look it up on YouTube. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. I'll have to do that.
All right. Well, a follow-up story from last week. If you were anywhere around Fresno State on Saturday, you couldn't miss the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. More than 5,000 people were on campus on the 25th to take part in the event. That didn't include everyone who was at different locations. It is still unknown on how much money has been raised this year. Komen Central Valley will be accepting donations up until December 31st. Say goodbye. Did you guys get to go to the Race for the Cure this weekend?
I didn't. No. Did you get to go?
No, I haven't. I didn't get to go this weekend, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Next week on Fresno State Focus, find out what is being done with a special grant given to the Central California Children's Institute.
Plus, food insecurity continues to be a big deal for many students at Fresno State. Find out what Fresno State is doing to help.
Also join us next week for a special edition of Fresno State Focus in Spanish. See you next week.